I'm Ted Tykert, a former selectman in the town of Andover, Massachusetts. The makers of the Not Too Stuffy Law Show have asked me to publicly comment on their program right here on television. But you know, when I was a boy, my mother would always say to me, Ted, if you can't say something nice about someone or something, don't say anything. So keeping my mom's advice, here's my review of the Not Too Stuffy Law Show. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Not Too Stuffy Law Show. I'm your host, attorney Justin St. James. For the next half hour, we hope to entertain, inform, and enlighten you, and if we don't, you should probably be watching 60 Minutes. I'd like to welcome the studio audience. Wow, that must be really good popcorn. How's it going? In this program, we're going to bring you another edition of Bedtime Stories for Lawyers, where we'll explore several issues in tort law. I know that sounds exciting. I then interview a real-life hypnotist by the name of Don Glass. See, his name is Don Glass. So every time you say the word glass. Anyway, he'll tell us what hypnotism is all about and how law enforcement may use hypnosis as part of their investigations. So stick around, there's a lot to learn and you'll have a good time. Up first, Bedtime Stories for Lawyers. Don Glass. We're happy to bring you another edition of Bedtime Stories for Lawyers, where we take legal issues and apply them to real-world situations. Today we discuss Goldie Locks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, a little girl named Goldie Locks went for a walk in the forest. We don't know how old Goldie Locks was, or why she was walking in the forest alone, nor do we know where her parents are. But the assumption is that Goldie Locks is a normal, healthy, if not slightly dopey young lady.
Boy, I've been walking a long way. I've been walking all the way from the Appalachian Trail, all the way from Maine to Georgia. That's a long way, let me tell you. And I'm really tired. I sure would like a nice place to sleep and a nice breakfast. I'm really tired of sleeping in a tent on the ground and eating camp food. Hey, look, a little house in the woods. Maybe it's a bed and breakfast. Maybe I could get a good breakfast and a place to sleep. I'm going to check. Oh, golly, I hope it's a bed and breakfast.
The first issue we raise is trespassing. A trespass occurs when someone like Goldie Locks enters onto the real estate property of another without their permission. In her defense, Goldie Locks could claim that she thought the home of the Bears was a bed and breakfast. The problem with that defense is that there are no signs or notices anywhere that would indicate that the Bears' home is such a place. A court would have to determine whether it's reasonable for someone in Goldie Locks' position to have a good faith belief that the Bears' private home could legitimately be mistaken for a bed and breakfast. And by the way, there's also no indication that the Bears in this story are from Chicago. Let's continue.
Oh, look, there's 3 little bowls. Oh, this must be a bed and breakfast. And there's breakfast on the table, and they're expecting 3. I'm going to go and see. I'm going to go knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, well. Nobody answered, but the door is open. I'll just come inside. Hello? Hello, is anyone here? Anyone here? Oh, well, never mind. I'll just get started. Let's see. I think I'll start with the biggest. I always like the biggest. Oh, hot, hot, hot. I couldn't eat that. That's way too hot. I'll try the second biggest. Ugh, cold, cold, cold. They don't have a very good cook here. Oh, I'll try this little one. Yum. Very good. Delicious. Oh, it's all gone. I take it back. bet they do have a good cook. Oh, but I'm really tired. I need to find a place to sit down. Let's see what else there is in this house.
Okay, Goldilocks has now consumed either part or all of the breakfasts of each of the bears. Goldilocks could possibly be charged with larceny. Larceny is the unlawful taking and carrying away of someone else's personal property, in this case the porridge, with the intent of permanently depriving the owner of it. Since Goldilocks has eaten the breakfasts, there is no way she can return them. Well, technically she could return them, but no one would really want to eat them if in fact she did return them. To counter the argument of larceny of breakfast, Goldilocks could say that she thought the breakfasts were intended for others to consume. Either way, Goldilocks would still have to pay for the cost of the porridge. Let's continue.
Oh, look! A little sitting room, and there's 3 little chairs. I know they're expecting 3. Which one should I sit in? I think I'll sit in the biggest. I always like the biggest. Ugh. 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 Whoa, that chair is way too hard. I could never sit in that chair for long. Oh, this one looks comfy. I'll try this chair. Ugh. 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 Whoa, that chair is way too soft. I'd have a broken back if I sat in that chair for long. Hey, a little rocking chair. Oh, I like rocking chairs. Oh, 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 it broke. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Oh, well, I'm really tired. I'm going to go and see if I can find a bed to sleep in.
Now Goldilocks has broken Baby Bear's chair. Here, Goldilocks may be charged with conversion. Conversion can occur when someone unlawfully interferes with the property of another to the extent that the owner is deprived of the use and possession of that property. The counter-argument is that Baby Bear's chair may still be able to be fixed. It depends on how badly Goldilocks broke the chair. But Goldilocks is still not finished in destroying the bear's home.
8, 9, 10. Whoa, it's a long way up here. Wow, there are 3 little beds. Oh, I know they're expecting 3. Which one should I sleep in first? I think I'll sleep in the biggest. I always like the biggest. Ugh. 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 Whoa. Whoa. That bed is way too hard. I couldn't sleep in that bed. Oh, this one has a very pretty coverlet. I'll try this one. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, oh golly, that bed, it's way too soft. I couldn't sleep in that bed for long. Oh, I'll try this little bed. Oh. Oh.
If you're already familiar with the story, you know that the 3 bears now come home. By some strange coincidence, the bears had also been taking a walk in the woods. What it is about these woods that make them so great for walking, we're not entirely sure. However, they are bears, and along with doing other activities in the woods, bears also tend to walk in them.
Oh, well, that was a... Oh, my goodness. Mama Bear! Mama Bear! I'm coming, dear. Oh, that was a very long walk, my dear. Mama Bear, yes, dear. Someone was eating my porridge. No one was eating your porridge. I tell you, Mama Bear, someone was eating my porridge. Look at yours. Oh. Oh. Someone was eating my porridge. Baby Bear? Baby Bear! I'm coming. I'm coming. Where's breakfast? Baby Bear, someone was eating my porridge. It wasn't me. And someone was eating my porridge. It wasn't me.
Hey, hey, someone was eating my porridge and they ate it all up. Baby Bear, you stayed behind and ate the porridge.
Baby Bear, I'll have a talk with you in the sitting room. Come along.
No, you heard your father, dear. Come along and no dawdling. No, but I'm hungry. Oh.
Just a brief moment here on the treatment of Baby Bear. His parents have already forced him to go for a walk in the woods when presumably he could have been home eating his breakfast. He was hungry after all. Now his parents are wrongfully accusing him of eating all of the breakfasts when they should have known he was with them the entire time. You may be wondering if this is a form of child abuse, but it's not. He's a bear, not a child. In fact, when Papa and Mama Bear see the broken chair on the second floor, they continue to suspect Baby Bear of more wrongdoing. But it's not until the bears come upon Goldie Locks sleeping in Baby Bear's bed that they realize who the culprit really is.
8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness. Mama Bear! Mama Bear!
I'm coming, dear. I'm coming. 8, 9, 10. Goodness, it gets longer every day.
Mama Bear, someone was sleeping in my bed.
No one was sleeping in your bed.
I tell you, someone was sleeping in my bed. Look at yours.
Oh. Oh. Someone was jumping on my bed. Baby Bear. Baby Bear. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Baby Bear, someone was sleeping in my bed.
It wasn't me. And someone was jumping on my bed, dear. It wasn't me. Oh, I just had a nice bath, and now I'm going to go to bed. Hey, that's my bed. Oh, no, I picked this bed. You take another bed. But that is my bed. Listen, you take that hard bed over there. I'm going to sleep in this bed. My dear, why, that's Baby Bear's bed, and this is our home. Why, we're the 3 bears. Bears? Did you say bears? Well, yes, dear, the 3 bears. Bears? Oh, bears! Hey, come back. Come back. Hey, don't go away. Hey, come on back. Oh, dear. Baby Bear, come back here, my dear.
Oh, my goodness. This place is a madhouse today.
Goldilocks runs from the house, presumably far away. However, the 3 bears do have a right to collect damages from Goldilocks for eating their breakfasts and breaking Baby Bear's chair. Even if Goldilocks wants to argue that she entered the bear's home out of necessity, she could say that she was tired, hungry, and perhaps even disoriented from walking into the woods. She would still have to pay the bears for the damage she caused in their home. Depending on Goldilocks' age, the bears would either seek recovery from her parents or from Goldilocks herself. In order to be sure they're suing the right person, the bears would probably name Goldilocks and her parents in a potential lawsuit. That way, if the judge rules that Goldilocks is too young to be sued, the bears can still seek damages against her parents. The bears may also want to seek a restraining order against Goldilocks to keep her off their property. However, it's not likely that Goldilocks will ever return to the bears' home again. You may also be wondering if the bears could have used physical force in defending their home against Goldilocks. Of course, each state is different when it comes to defending one's home, especially when it comes to deadly force. Goldilocks is clearly not a physical threat, nor is she carrying any weapons. However, if the bears had decided to eat Goldilocks, they would be justified under the simple manifestation that they are, in fact, bears. And that concludes this edition of Bedtime Stories for Lawyers. And my thanks to Judith O'Hare and her company, You and Me Puppets, out of Reading, Massachusetts, for her help in that last segment. At this time, I'd like to check in with the studio audience. Guys, what do you think of the show so far? Guys, the show's already started. Guys, the show's over here. Over here. I'm sure they'll start to pay attention any minute now. Hypnosis is sometimes used to curb or stop habits such as overeating or smoking cigarettes. The police may use hypnosis as well. Here's professional hypnotist Don Glass to tell us what it's all about. Okay, I'm here with Don Glass, a hypnotist in Andover, Massachusetts. Welcome to the Not Too Stuffy Law Show, Don. What is hypnotism?
Hypnotism is really just a change of state of mind. And most of us have been hypnotized and we don't really realize it. But if you're one of those people that may have driven past your exit, you were in a state of hypnosis as you went past it.
Almost a trance.
In a trance, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people that daydream, that's a state of hypnosis. Now, when you're in that state, you're very open to suggestions. And people that daydream a lot, such as an Albert Einstein, who dreamt the theory of relativity while in a trance. He created the M-square thing. It's very, very powerful. When you're in that state, your mind is open to suggestions. And these suggestions can root in your mind. And once they do, you have a new belief and a new behavior.
And how does one go about becoming a hypnotist?
There's a couple of answers to that, Justin.
Okay.
One is taking the very basic course, but that doesn't give you very much of a experience. You find that most of the better hypnotists are people that have had a lot of experience, whether as a hypnotist or just in self-development. Myself, I've been doing hypnosis for over 40 years. I didn't really realize it was hypnosis. I've been on a self-development journey, and I found that all the things that I was doing in that journey, many of them were hypnotic. That is, they were meditative, they put me in a different state, they allowed me to visualize things in my mind, and as I did that, I manifested change. One of the interesting things that I found is we actually have two minds. We have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is all we have when we're first born. And everything that we see, everything that we hear, everything that we experience, we record on our subconscious mind. Some people refer to the subconscious mind sort of like a blank hard drive. And as we experience life, smells, sounds, emotions, it's all recorded. And as a child, there is no right or wrong. We're just recording that information. As we get older, we develop a conscious mind. So it depends on when your mom says to you, eat everything on your plate, whether that's something that you're going to continue to do, or if you're older and understand, I'm critical of that, I don't know that I want to eat everything on my plate, determines how you're going to behave in the future.
So you mentioned earlier about throughout the day, we drop in and out of our own trance. So what hypnosis does then, it helps control that, it helps bring more focus to an issue that a person might be having, but they may not be aware of then, is that correct?
That's right.
So what type of people come to you for hypnosis?
One of the things that we've been seeing an awful lot are people that are stressed. When people get stressed, your mind produces a chemical called cortisol. And cortisol is good in small quantities, so it comes from the flight or fight response. But in our society where people tend to be stressed all the time, you hang on to this chemical in your brain and you become tense throughout. It tenses your entire body. As a result, you develop issues. With hypnosis, people come to us to have that kind of relief. They become so relaxed and so comfortable, the cortisol goes away, their mind becomes clearer, they're able to focus more. People have described the hypnosis as a very, very relaxed state. And not only are you relaxed physically, your mind seems to go into hyperdrive. You know that you can solve all the problems of the world when you're hypnotized. Except you're so comfortable, you can't be bothered.
Now, is there a difference, we talked about this before the show, that, for example, I do a routine before I get into my car. I walk around the car and I check the tires to make sure they're all inflated. Now, is that a routine? Is that a habit? Is that a trance? Is that just good driving habit? I mean, what?
Sounds like a good driving habit to me.
But it's not really hypnosis then. It's just more being a careful driver.
It's a routine.
It's routine, okay.
Yeah, it's something that you find comfort in.
Okay. But someone's routine, they could arguably do that while they're in a trance. I mean, if they just automatically do things in the morning, again, is that a routine, or is that just, are they not really aware of it, they're just doing it automatically? So.
Let me give you an example of how hypnosis really works. If I were to say to you, when things go into your subconscious mind, they're there and they're automatic behaviors. So if I were to ask you, say, Justin, could you please say your ABCs very quickly for me, please?
Okay.
Okay, so then you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Got that?
Okay.
Now, that's in your subconscious mind. Now you say, well, you did real good on that. Just do every other one and get it done in half the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's A, C.
You have to stop and think about it.
Now you have to think about it.
Okay. So when a police officer stops someone over for driving while impaired and he makes them recite the alphabet backwards, it's not all that easy.
Not unless he's done
Z.
it in his subconscious mind.
Z, and then let's say there's X, and then you have to go on. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. All righty. So that's not really a fair test, or is it?
No, not unless he's prepared for it.
Okay. All righty. What is age regression therapy?
There's a couple of types of regression. There's age regression therapy, or age regression, is going back to a different age. We typically will use age regression to get rid of phobias in a single session. Mm-hmm. Now, a phobia is a fear. It's something that's bothersome. A typical one might be spiders. A child or person comes in and says, I'm scared of spiders. I'm deathly afraid of them. And we will regress this person back to a point before he was or she was scared of spiders. And then we bring them forward to the point where they were fearful of spiders. And when they see the two points in time, that phobia is gone. It's a single session, usually a single session. Sometimes it's 2 or 3, but it's gone. It's completely, irrevocably gone.
What if they don't have a memory of never being afraid of spiders or whatever? I mean, what if they always, as far as back as they can remember, they've always been afraid of spiders?
As far back as they remember,
even if they
consciously.
even if they go back to the crib and they were afraid.
No,
no,
that's a conscious thought.
Okay.
Your conscious mind only represents about 7 or 8% of your mind. Mm-hmm. Everything else is in your subconscious. So everything that happened in your life is recorded in your subconscious mind. You might recall there's something called forensic hypnosis that the police use, and you're able to regress someone back where they will see things that they have blocked out. A typical situation that we talk about is you're interviewing someone after a traumatic robbery, for example, and the witness is saying, I don't know, the gun was this big, it was this big. That's all they're seeing. Mm-hmm. But through hypnosis, you're able to regress them back to a time where they're able to recall all the different things that they've seen. And you'll typically come back, oh yes, the license plate was a 971, and it had this funny little scratch on the bumper, where they're able to call that. Another way that we see it quite often is if you describe someone going to the mall and having to go to a particular store to pick up something, and then coming out, they'll say they went in, they went to the store, they came out, they didn't see anything else. But then as they're thinking about it, then they say, oh, I wonder if that was Mary in the other store that I passed. Mm-hmm. Never consciously looking at her. Mm-hmm. However, that subconscious catches everything.
Right, it finally catches up with the person.
Right. Now there's another regression where you're able to regress to a past life. Some people believe that exists, some people don't. And there you may have experiences of being a different person or entity, or just different back at another time in time.
We won't get into it. I don't really believe in past lives, but
That's okay.
We'll leave that one alone.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
We'll leave that one alone. Well, thank you. And in terms of, I've heard of, for example, students preparing for the bar before they, in order to become lawyers. I've heard people going to hypnotists to be hypnotized just to relax.
Yep.
And have you had that happen with you?
Yes, we have had quite a bit of that. We've had it both with academic as well as sports.
Okay.
I had a young man that is a hockey player. He's a senior in college. He had gotten injured. And when you have an injury, a sports injury, the fluidity that you have in the sport that you've been practicing for forever is lost. There's a hesitation. And through hypnosis, we're able to make that go away. That is that hesitation. I had this young man in, he's a senior in college, and he had 2 sessions with me, and then he had to go back to his school in Vermont. And his goal was to become a professional hockey player. He sent me an email a couple days later after that, and he says, Mr. Glass, he says, I can't tell you how wonderful I felt. He says, the first game, they didn't score against me at all. He was a goalie. The second game, they scored. But you could ask my mom, he says, I was on the ceiling. It was just such a wonderful experience reading that and seeing the changes that they have.
Excellent. If someone wants to find out more about hypnosis, how do they do it? Do they contact you, or how can they get in touch with you?
They can look at our website, and our website is justimaginehypnosiscenters.com.
All right, excellent. Thanks for your time. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Don Glass, thank you. And once again, if you want to learn more about hypnosis, you may contact Don Glass via his website, www.justimaginehypnosiscenters.com. I'd like to thank the studio audience for being here. There's nothing like a satisfied audience. As we always do, we leave you with the beautiful music of the equally beautiful Sarah Melson. You may find Sarah's music on Amazon, iTunes, eMusic, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, sarahmelson.com. The name of the song is Happy Endings. Until next time, I hope everything you do will come with a happy ending. I'll see you then.
Never realized how badly I needed to be surprised. You kissed me with your eyes, less than I knew. Now I'm 1,000 miles away, waiting for the first light of day. And the way I'm feeling is oh so new. And I believe in happy endings. And I only see the good in you. And I believe the world is worth mending. I think that you do too. I know that you're an optimist. You're pretty impossible to resist. And I know you, but you